Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Dallas.
What do you think about the protest today?
I want to change my side. Give me the burger. I mean, I just think.
What the fuck's up with the watermelons?
The what?
The watermelons? Do you know what it's called?
What watermelons?
You can see the watermelon deal right there. There's watermelons on
Wait,
the
they're handing out watermelons? Hey, I just think these people are pretty stupid, but I mean, that's the beauty of America. You can do what you want. You got freedom of speech, but it means I also have freedom of speech. So I mean, it is what it is. I don't mess with it, but it's whatever. I mean, like I said, beauty of America. You can do whatever you want, say whatever you want. There's still right and wrong, but you know, you can still have your own opinion.
What's your name?
Zimzi,
What brings you here to this protest today?
the genocide in Gaza, which I saw from Twitter actually when it first happened, and I was appalled that something like that could be live broadcast to everyone on the internet. And there's still a war going on. There's still a genocide. There's still people saying that it's okay to murder children.
So I'm here at Texas State University at a Palestine protest, and it's actually just 40 minutes down the road from the University of Texas in Austin, where there were about 57 students arrested last week. I'm going to try to get some interviews with as many people as I can, and hopefully we keep it peaceful, and hopefully we get a good video out of this, man.
Nation's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! The occupation's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho!
Zaina Abdulrahim.
Zaina, what's your role in this protest today?
I'm just one of the main organizers and an officer of the Palestine Solidarity Committee.
What do you feel that Texas State has been doing as a whole to support the situation in Gaza, if anything? Do you feel like they're playing middle ground?
That vibe has very much been around. As far as what I can see, like in Dr. Danfus's response to October 7th, I really appreciated how he could respect that both sides were grieving at that time. But other than that, I haven't seen much action being taken on behalf of Texas State.
Do you think Texas State as an entity itself has done anything to raise awareness about the situation in Gaza, or do you think they're just playing middle ground?
I haven't heard any word from Texas State at all. I think they're trying to ignore it because they're afraid if they take a stance on it, then they lose admissions. It is the smartest play, both like financially and just as an institution in general, for education to like avoid taking a side on this thing, and that sucks. It's unfortunate, and I don't think it's the right thing because it is supporting a genocide, but they want their fucking money, so they're gonna do it.
My great-grandmother is Palestinian. I have a lot of family that are Palestinian refugees, so this is a really important topic for me. I wanted to come, use my voice.
Do you go to Texas State?
Yes.
Do you feel like Texas State has done anything to support Gaza, and or do you feel like they're sort of playing the middle ground?
I don't think Texas State has done anything at all. If they have, I've never heard anything about it. I think it's fully the students that are taking initiative.
We're kind of just trying to push for a Hearts and Mind campaign, trying to reach other college students and bring awareness to how it affects us and how it affects our campus. We're calling for a ceasefire, the blood and the war and all of it being supported by our tuition and by our American administration, I feel is outrageous. So we're here to protest that.
I don't really think they're doing much. I haven't heard anything from my school, and if they do, it's pretty much taken down. I had a poster on my door about Palestine. It was ripped off. I had posted some by a Starbucks. It was ripped down, so I haven't seen much from this school.
I think they're playing middle ground because Texas State is a very left-leaning college, a lot more left-leaning than obviously UT, but I think they know that if they play fully into one side, it will cause backlash. Into either side, it will cause backlash. So they're kind of just playing the middle ground. Not really being evil, but not really doing good.
I feel like they're playing middle ground, like a lot of big places and companies are. They're just like, you guys, we're trying to be friendly. Like, they're not picking a side, is picking Israel at this point. Staying silent is staying complicit in the genocide. And so I feel like Texas State is doing exactly that, being complicit.
So after hearing pretty clearly what the students really feel, let's hear what a representative of the institution itself has to say.
Jamie Bloschke.
What brings you here to this protest today?
I work for the university. I'm in media relations. I'm here to liaison with any type of media that need assistance or help.
What do you think Texas State is doing to raise awareness about the situation, if anything at all? Do you feel like they're playing middle ground?
No, the university here is here, to support and allow the students to express their expressive activities. The university has As a public university, Texas State has official policies that allow individuals to engage in expressive activity on university property. In response to the event planned today by students on the San Marcos campus, Texas State will follow established procedures to support participants' right to safely engage in expressive activity conducted within institutional regulations.
You reading off the script?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like the Zionists are getting a little bit closer to the Palestine protest. It seems that their group has actually grown a little bit, so I'm going to go try to do a couple interviews with them and see if they want to talk.
I have need some air.
What's up?
Need some air?
Yes.
Yes, there are.
Would you be down for a quick interview? I'm just trying to get everybody's perspective on this.
What network are you?
What's your name?
I'm Jaden.
What brings you to this protest today?
I honestly just wanted to come and listen and have an open mind and hear what everybody wanted to say. And I am Jewish. I've lived in Israel. I have family that was killed on October 7th. And I just wanted to hear what was going on, but also stand here because it is a part of my heritage. And yeah.
Do you go to Texas State?
I do.
What do you think Texas State has done to support your side, if anything? Do you feel like they're playing middle ground?
Probably middle ground. I don't really know anything that they've done, honestly.
And I was like, because after a certain point, bro, she just started like spewing like defense at me, but I didn't get to finish my sentence. I was like, dude, why are you being so mean to me?
Yeah.
Like, come on. There's people from Israel. There's people with that background that's standing with Palestine. And honestly, bro, I think that it would make the most sense because I feel like obviously they should be the ones to talk to them. I don't know. I just think that that's the best people to get through to them. It was a little ignorant of me to try to talk to them because it's like, I know that because of my lack of experience with that background, they probably are going to be less willing to, listen.
So after realizing that it's pretty much in the school's best interest to continue to play the middle ground, I wanted to know what the students thought about the national headlines being made just an hour away at the UT campus.
What do you think about the law enforcement over at UT that arrested all those people?
I think that was the right call. I mean, you got a little rowdy, and I mean, there's got to be a point where like it stops. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that was the right thing to do. Obviously, they don't, but I think that was the right thing to do.
Do you think something like that's gonna happen here?
I mean, like, would I like to see these people get arrested? Maybe, but probably not. It doesn't look as like it's gonna get too violent.
So my sister is a UT student, and she was at the protest. She wasn't arrested, but I saw footage from her on the ground, and I saw plenty of footage online. And what happened there is a strictly authoritarian and really, really unsettling political act by the establishment in Texas. There was no crime of any kind being done. It was a peaceful protest. And the fact that Greg Abbott preemptively sent in the state police and the National Guard, whoever was all there, before the protest even really got started, really just goes to show that our state government does have intrinsic angles that they're trying to uphold, which is the typical kind of Judeo-Christian upholding of the Jewish state against the Palestinians' claim. And so it really is kind of a devastating blow to free speech.
I think the UT response was disgusting. I think it was grossly excessive by any precedent or standard of law enforcement, even within Texas, which has been a historically violent state. I think that he was making a show of force. He was trying to intimidate students.
But as far as UT is concerned, I think it's despicable. You heard reports about the actual UT president is the one who sicked the police in riot gear on peaceful protesters. We saw stuff similar to that, and when George Floyd happened. And at the end of the day, when you come to peace with riot gear, you're fighting students. I mean, come on, it's not proportionate. And so when we talk about violence, when we talk about lack of peace, I think we saw which side that was coming from. And it wasn't the students, and it wasn't the other ones who joined in solidarity for Palestinian people.
I think what happened at UT was utterly disrespectful, arresting people just for praying. And right now I don't see anything happening at all with the police or anything right now. So hopefully it stays as it is, peaceful right now, and the police respect that.
First of all, there's no reason for you to pull out snipers on a college student. That's absolutely crazy, and that really angered me because that's like you're threatening these people with death for speaking out. I think that that it was horrible, and especially seeing what they did at UT, but what they couldn't do at Uvalde, and what they didn't do for all those victims of school shooters. I saw the police. They're not a protection force. They're just there to enforce hate. That's what they do. They don't do anything else. They don't come if you need help. They just enforce that hate, and I find that deplorable. And if it does happen here, I won't shy away. I won't run because it just won't happen. I'm not scared of someone in a uniform who has to hold a gun to me to feel better than me. I won't run because this is what I believe in, and it's just in my bloodline to not run from police like that. Like, that's not what I do.
Is there any concerns of that happening here? I know there were some trolls over there and like people just yelling and stuff. But what's your thoughts on that?
I think it's totally uncalled for. It doesn't really make much sense. We're obviously just here to say that we're against something. We're not perpetuating any kind of violence, even though that's what the other side is saying to get us to shut down. But it's just a matter of us coming out here to say the truth. We don't have any negative intentions, and to see other university students' rights being infringed upon like that is pretty furious.
There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying that Zionism and the Israeli government and the unjust systems that perpetuate the genocide of the Palestinian people is wrong, and we can stand firm on that belief. Let's stand up for the Palestinian people.
What do you think about Joe Biden and like the U.S. government as a whole and how they've been handling the situation?
I think Joe Biden, again, he's trying to play the middle ground, but with him, since he's in a more position of power, it's not working. I mean, it's the president. People are going to want the president to do something, and it's either I want the president to go right or I want the president to go left, and he is very indecisive, and each day that it goes on, each day that he does nothing about it, it's just getting worse and worse. So there's going to be like a turning point, an ultimatum that he's going to have to do either something about it or something not about it. And when that happens, it's all going to go to shit.
Shit for you white boys down in the back. Thinking this a fucking joke. Thinking this is funny. American is freedom. And now, you don't support freedom? Can you call yourself an American? Can you call yourself? You can tell me you're not?
That's all right. I knew what I was getting.
Yo, bro, can I ask you one more question?
Oh yeah.
What do you think about Joe Biden?
Pretty shitty.
What do you think about the way he's handling the situation?
Not doing good at all. I mean, he's wasting money, troops, doing a lot of bullshit. Shouldn't be doing. So, shitty president. That's just my opinion.
Do you think he should be sending all that money to Ukraine and Israel?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I think that's foreign affairs. I mean, sure, we can help if we're prone to and we're provoked, something like that, but there's not really any reason for us to be doing that shit, so I think it's just a waste of a lot of resources and money.
Do you fuck with Trump, or do you think he's like still shitty?
Wrong. I fuck with Trump. I mean, there's been a few questionable things, not gonna lie, but I'm a Republican, I'm a conservative, So I think Trump's probably the best option for this election, but I mean, everyone's done something wrong, He's still fucked up, but he's a lot way better, more qualified than Biden, so I think he should definitely be back in office.
What can I say other than they are funding it? Every single bomb dropped in Palestine has come from the U.S. We are funding that. And I can't stand for that anymore.
I don't like Joe Biden very much. I don't really care for that guy. He's kind of stupid. The whole U.S. military industrial complex is it's a really crazy thing because we pretty much fund these wars to happen. We're almost entirely responsible. It's it's crazy because you get arrested and shit. You lose your livelihood for not paying taxes. But it's dude, my tax dollars are going towards fucking murdering people.
I'm disappointed in the Democratic Party. It's kind of foolish to not recognize that people of diverse backgrounds, especially Arab Americans, are not going to tolerate the genocide that's being perpetuated by Biden's administration. So it would be nice for him to maybe recognize that and then act upon it.
What do you think about Joe Biden and the way he's been handling the situation, like the U.S. government and all?
Very, very poorly. Very, very poorly. I mean, if you've seen anything on the internet, I guess, Biden has been a supporter of Israel for longer than I've been alive.
If I were Jew, I'd be a Zionist. I am a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist.
He said it himself. He's a Zionist, and I don't necessarily understand why we support that. I think it's contrary to our progress in the country. Like, why do we support a country? Why do we give them all of our money? Why do we give them so much money that we need in this country? Like, education needs to be fixed. Infrastructure needs to be fixed. Like, there's just so much shit that needs to be fixed in this country, and for us to be sending, recently we sent, 90 billion overseas and 60 billion to Ukraine, 10 billion to Israel, and the remainder to Taiwan. Like, dude, have you seen the fucking potholes down the street?
Yeah,
like,
you know, a lot of people are saying that we're voting for the lesser two evils. Would you say that, like, that's pretty accurate nowadays?
Yeah, we're 100%. Well, actually, I don't know. I guess it really depends on where you stand, but where I stand, I would say he might be the lesser of two evils. We haven't seen what Trump's policy will be yet.
And what I said very plainly is get it over with and let's get back to peace and stop killing people. And that's a very simple statement. Get it over with. They got to finish what they finished. They have to get it done. Get it over with and get it over with fast, because you have to get back to normalcy and peace. The whole world is blowing up with this idiot president we have. He's an idiot. He's the dumbest president we've ever had. He's the most corrupt, and he's the most incompetent, and he's the worst president we've ever had by a fact. You know, I say, and you've listened to plenty of them, if you add up the 10 worst presidents in history, they haven't done the damage that this guy's done to our country.
If you ask me, I don't think democracy has existed at all for the past 100 or so years. Why do we still have an electoral college? Like, both of the parties support the same foreign policy. They just vary domestically. So, like, this may be stupid, but there's just one meme that I like where it's like, this is Sally, she's a Democrat. This is Bob, he's a Republican. Both of them get along well because they want to bomb Iran. So, like, I don't know. If you see it, we've been in forever wars, forever. We went to World War I, then World War II, then Korea, then Vietnam, then Afghanistan, then Iraq, then back to Afghanistan, and then Afghanistan's finally done, let's start another one in Ukraine, why not? And then that shit's not working out well for the public, let's start another war in Gaza. So, I don't know, democracy's dead in my opinion. My vote does not matter. As you come to find out, there really is not that much differences in the actual beliefs of each side. The Palestinians have obviously been abused by the IDF, and many individuals who live in Israel also oppose the super violent efforts by the IDF against the Palestinians. Each side does indeed want a ceasefire, and so the only issue that's really being intertwined is the issues that have plagued each side since, biblical days. The issue is really not one of a modern. Gotta be careful what I say here.
Yeah.
But both sides in general actually agree on a lot of things.
I know it's kind of a general question, but what do you think is the solution to this situation?
A change in foreign policy. Yeah, on both sides, bipartisan.
What does that mean?
It basically means instead of just saying, yes, we're for a two-state solution, actually make the moves to get to a two-state solution if that's actually what you care about. Actually start caring about the Palestinian people instead of just watching the food trucks not actually move in. Instead of, being neglectful of the people in Palestine, actually caring and recognizing that the U.S. citizens care, because if they didn't, we wouldn't be out here saying that we condemn the actions of the Biden administration in the first place.
Well, 21 years ago, Rachel Corey, a young woman, 23 years old, was standing in front of a Palestinian home trying to keep a bulldozer made by U.S. Caterpillar bulldozer, Caterpillar Inc., operated by the Israeli government. She was trying to keep them from bulldozing a Palestinian home. And the bulldozer ran over her, backed over her, and her friends videotaped it, took her to the hospital, and she died a few hours later.
An Israeli investigation took 1 month and found no Israeli soldier was to blame, stating the armoured bulldozer crew involved in the incident did not see Miss Corrie, who was standing behind the mound of earth and was unable to see her or hear her voice. But the military has not identified the driver of the bulldozer or made their investigation available to the US government.
The killing was intentional, or at least incredibly reckless. And as a former soldier, I was even in charge of bulldozers in Vietnam. They weren't these big, heavy D9s with armor on them, and I was out in the jungle. But you're responsible to know what's in front of that blade, and I believe they did.
Rachel's parents are proud of what their daughter did, recalling how important it was to her to try and help Palestinian families in Gaza.
There are just countless ways in which these children are experiencing incredibly difficult things, and I want to support them.
And this happened 21 years ago in 2003, and here all you young people are, and I wanted to come out and support you who are still fighting for the Palestinian people who should be able to have kept their homes, their land, their flower industry, and instead they have, I believe, executed genocide in Israel to the Palestinian people.
Would you say you have like a strong stance for either side, or are you just like here to troll?
Both. I mean, yeah, I'm on the Israel side, I guess you could say. But I'm also here to troll. I mean, it's a lot easier to troll. And, yeah, you know, it's fun. It's fun. You know.
Okay, all right. Well, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's get that. Legalize it.